But first, a few things to talk about as far as the weekend is concerned, and as far as since we last spoke is concerned. Now, first things first, I want to say you're welcome to all the YouTube channels, to all the aggregators, to all the X feeds, Instagram feeds, everyone who, in a somewhat quiet time in our sport, not the biggest event coming up, tiny lull post, Francis shocking the world, who were able to make a ton of content based off of the stuff discussed on this program, and in particular, my conversation, if you want to call it that, with Chael Sonnen. And I've enjoyed several things since that conversation. Number one, I've enjoyed all the breakdowns that I've seen pop up. Have not bothered to watch any of them. And if I have, maybe 30 seconds. But I appreciate everyone weighing in. Thank you very much. It's good to see all my old friends come out of the woodwork. I hope you're all getting a ton of views. Much love, peace and love, peace and love. I hope your YouTube channels do very well and you get to break that threshold so you can actually make some money. It's very nice to see. Number one, that's been very funny. It's been very funny to hear on the back end the scoundrels come out of the woodwork to try and, almost like vultures, reaching out to myself or Chael about like, hey, are you guys on the outs? Let me tell you X, Y, and Z. Maybe you should do X, Y, and Z. Well, there's no X, Y, and Z to be done. Chael and I spoke after the show on Wednesday via text, then spoke on the phone on Thursday, and we're all good. He expressed his feelings. I expressed mine. And in conclusion, as two grown men, we both expressed that we consider each other good friends, that, dare I say, we love each other and have always been supportive. And by the way, to the Johnny-come-latelys out there, have debated many times before. Like I said, the early days of Ariel and the Bad Guy, they used to get pretty heated, but they never quite got to the point where it got on Wednesday. And so I told him that I regretted that it got to that point. I regret my part in getting to that point. And, I explained to him why some of the words that he used I did not like. I do not in a million years think that anyone out there who isn't in my shoes, who isn't me, would understand. And so people who are, criticizing that or mocking that, I don't expect you to understand. Don't worry about it, all right? But I explained to him, and he understood where I was coming from. And, we came to the conclusion that, hey, it sucks to lose a debate to a nerd who's never fought before, but them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. I kid, I joke. I did offer him the opportunity to come on the show just so people can see us virtually hug. He was told that he told me that he had another interview during the show, blah, 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 blah. And so I extended the invitation to him to come in studio on Monday. For all the people who said that I'm afraid of talking to Chael, my friend, face to face. Again, you continue to prove that you're just new to the sport and you don't really pay attention and haven't been paying attention, but it's fine. And so I don't know if he'll be able to join us in studio, but the invitation was extended by me to him to come in studio because I heard from a lot of people who said, this feels like mom and dad fighting and we didn't like that. And that hit close to home. I don't want to be, as a parent, I don't ever want to fight in front of my kids, argue in front of my kids. And so if that's the way you view us, I don't want to be the one to bring out those feelings. So we're good. I'm happy to report that. All's fair in love and fight debates, and we're able to move on now. And it probably won't be our last debate, but this is what it means to be friends. You're able to argue, and then you're able to kiss and make up. And hopefully we get the opportunity to do that on Wednesday. We shall see. TBD. I will be here. He has a busy schedule. Let's see how it pans out. Now we move along from the Chael Sonnen situation to this little pay-per-view buys situation, which has spiraled into a world of its own. And what's funny about the pay-per-view thing and how I've gotten saddled into the pay-per-view thing, and it really speaks to the disconnect that Chael and I had in our argument. Show me the clip once where I said that this is going to be a pay-per-view box office smash hit. I never said that because a lot of people didn't think Francis had a chance. And, oh, by the way, You can easily find the clip of me saying that I thought they hurt the promotion when they announced the Usyk fight beforehand, because that just let the world know that this is nothing more than just a little detour for Fury on the way to the actual undisputed title fight. So I think they actually hurt it in the eyes of the public, and I wish they didn't do that. So I've never argued in favor of the pay-per-view. So anyone tried to show me the pay-per-view numbers and say, aha, you dumbass, you got it wrong. I've never argued that it was going to be a pay-per-view smash. What I did argue was that Francis won, and we should just concede that. Not only did he win from an athletic standpoint, he won from a financial standpoint as well. And not only did he win from a financial standpoint, he is about to win even more with the next fight. With the next opportunity, it's going to grow exponentially. Whatever he made, this fight is going to grow to an even larger number next time around. But the conclusion that I came to, which is so fascinating about this Francis situation, the conclusion that I came to was this. Going into the Ciryl Gane fight in January of 2022, everyone said that he was an idiot for not re-signing with the UFC. How could you go into the last fight of your contract against this superstar up-and-comer and not get that long-term deal? They said he was an idiot for not re-signing. Then he wins the fight, and everyone said that he's an idiot for not taking the new deal to get to the John Jones fight. You remember that. The entire year of 2022, he didn't take that deal. Then they said he was an idiot for leaving the UFC. Oh my God, you fumbled the bag. You were going to regret this. Then from January to May, they said he was an idiot because he spurned offers from everyone from One Championship to other boxing promoters to BKFC, and everyone was doing their little XXXXX thing, right? Then they said he was an idiot for not taking that deal. Then when he signed with PFL, they said he was an idiot because he left the UFC to go sign with PFL. And what the hell is PFL Africa? And you're not going to fight this year. This is silly. You went from the A leagues to the C leagues. What are you doing? Then they said he was an idiot for taking the PFL deal and leaving the opening to go take a boxing match because they said no one's going to want to box him of note. You're going to have to fight some jabron in Nebraska on some platform that no one's heard of. Just stick to MMA, bro. You got a deal. Shut up. Then he got the Tyson deal, and they said he was an idiot for even thinking that he could hang with Tyson Fury. You'll recall that. Oh, my God, he's going to get walloped. He's going to get smashed, smacked down, laid on him. He's going to be finished. He's going to get embarrassed to the point where the PFL is not going to want him anymore. You remember this. There's plenty of footage out on this. We even showed some of this last year. Then they said the whole event were idiotic because it lost all this money. Oh, my God, you see all the guys that they're paying to be there. Oh, my God, can you imagine? Oh, my God, the 2-hour delay, the musical acts. Then the fight happens, and then they said, all right, you're an idiot because the pay-per-view bombed. And so every single time, it's been another thing. The pay-per-view bombed, the event lost money, you're not going to win against Fury, you're not going to get a Fury fight, you signed with PFL, you left they keep changing it. As opposed to just saying, he took a chance, he rolled the dice, he got paid on this side from MMA, he got paid on this side from, and just leaving it at that. But for some strange reason, no one, so this is what was happening on Wednesday. We changed the narrative. We changed the goalposts. We moved them. All right, it's no longer about the event. It's now the pay-per-view buys. Okay, that's the new thing. The new thing is that he bombed on pay-per-view. Well, let me explain to you a couple things because, again, I know there's a lot of new people to the fight game. Number one, the A side was Tyson Fury. So if anyone is to be blamed, it's Tyson, and he should not be blamed. I believe the way they announced it, having it on Saturday afternoon, all these things are factors. But that doesn't even matter because I see a lot of people posting this 67,000K number and using that as like some sort of gotcha moment that, oh my God, he isn't a pay-per-view. And this whole thing bombed. Number one, 10 to 20. Why is it 10 to 20? Because there's a base and then there's what you make on the back end. Okay. Again, trying to explain to everyone. That number that you keep seeing parroted around isn't the actual entire number. And I can't even believe that I have to sit here and explain this to all of you. Again, the guy who wasn't even ever arguing in favor of the pay-per-view or not, it's ESPN Plus and US numbers. That's what that number is from Dave Meltzer, who's been doing this for a very long time. My sources tell me it's a little bit above that. But let's just say it's nowhere above 100. Let's just say that, all right? Let's just say that. That's the ESPN Plus Saturday afternoon / American pay-per-view numbers. Completely ignoring the fact that it also aired on TNT Sports Box Office, aka the network formerly known as BT Sport, in the UK, where Tyson is his biggest draw. That's where he has his most drawing power in the UK, right? He is British. Ignoring that, UK and Ireland, it was on TNT Sports. Ignoring the Canada number, which I don't think is a massive one because it's not as big of a market. There's more people living in California, but ignoring that number as well, ESPN Plus is not in Canada. And, oh, by the way, ignoring the DAZN number, which is everywhere but the US, the UK, and Ireland. You're ignoring all these numbers. So those numbers are still not 100%, but I can tell you with great certainty right now, with great certainty, and I'm being extremely, extremely conservative when I say this, because it'll likely be higher, but with great certainty right now, the number you should be throwing in my face isn't 67K, isn't even 100. The number you should be throwing in my face is 400K, and I feel very confident it will be above that. But that's like at its base. That's at its base, 400K. You're not seeing that number parroted around, and that's fine. You could say 400K, that's nothing what the UFC does. Well, okay, maybe. But that would also make it the highest selling pay-per-view involving an MMA fighter in an event not promoted by the UFC. Again, I'll say it. The highest selling pay-per-view headlined by an MMA fighter not promoted by the UFC. Obviously, Conor Mayweather did way more. Massive fight. Conor a bigger draw. Mayweather a bigger draw. Also promoted by the UFC. Bellator pay-per-view, nowhere near 400K. And again, do not post that I'm reporting 400. I'm saying that's the lowest. There's still more to be accounted for. At the very least, if you want to say that this bombed, please say it bombed with 400K. I'm trying to explain to you, Bellator never did anywhere near 400K. PFL couldn't even crack 50K. So before you run around and take these bullshit numbers and claim victory over a guy who's been doing this for almost 20 years now, please understand what you are looking at. 67K, what the fuck? You guys just think that the pay-per-view aired in America? This is nonsense. And so I have to read this stuff in the midst of all the other bullshit. And I'm like, you guys have completely lost your mind. Are there that many new fans who don't understand how pay-per-view works? Is that the reality that we're living here? And so I welcome you to continue to watch this show so I can educate you on how the pay-per-view business works. And if your argument is that Saudi lost a lot of money, fine. That has nothing to do with Francis. And trust me, they know how much they lost. And they're well aware that they're overpaying for all this other stuff. If they think Francis is such a bad guy to do business with, why is Turkey coming on this show on Monday and saying we have an offer for another fight with him? But again, believe what you want. You have your self-fulfilling prophecy, and every single step of the way, dating back to 2022, probably 2021, you said he was an idiot, he was an idiot. I don't understand. I'll never understand for the life of me why people can't give him the credit that he is due. He won. He got his money. He didn't fumble. He took the bag. He's back home in Cameroon, and he's going to get paid even more. That's where it ends. Now, we can have a debate all day long about pay-per-view, about events, about the future of events inside, all day long. That was never the thesis. It was never the thesis. I said it back in July as I posted. Afterwards, shout out to Spencer. I posted the video in July. The day after it was announced, I said, you got to be happy for Francis, a guy who made 600K. All right. So that's that. We've addressed the Chael Sonnen situation. I hope you're all very happy that we're happy, and hopefully we talk to him on Wednesday. We've addressed, hopefully, the pay-per-view situation. It isn't 67K. It is at least 400 and more than likely more. But please, when you're claiming victory over me, at least use the 400 because you're using one outlet's number, and that is the ESPN Plus number. And as I said at the top of this little segment, I've heard that it's bigger than that. But it's not in the multiple hundreds, but it's more than 67. Fine. Issue number 3 that we need to address. Saturday night, I'm watching, I think I was watching the Joe Cordina fight at that time. Close fight, by the way. Not sure if he won. Then I went into Sao Paulo. Saturday was fun because we had Rico Verhoeven. That wasn't a great fight. We had Crown Jewel. That was pretty entertaining. I didn't see most of it, but I saw the Logan Paul match. I saw the Io Sky match. I saw some of the main event. Soccer, of course. Shout out to Craig Jones. He was victorious. Then we went to the Cordina fight. Then we went to UFC Sao Paulo. So there was a lot going on Saturday afternoon. Took a little nap in the middle as well. And so in the middle of the Cordina fight, as I told you guys on Saturday, no, I told you on Wednesday, these days not really like scrounging for news, but if it falls in my lap, it falls in my lap, and then I'll do the due diligence. And if it's big enough, like random fight X on X card, not that I don't think that it's big enough to report like I'm above it all, but like there's just so many fights and so many variables. You can smash your head trying to get it all confirmed. There's a lot of great people out there who do that. But I get the information regarding the Toronto event. Actually, initially, it was that Alex Volkanovski isn't fighting in Toronto after all. I saw a picture of Hunter Campbell in Spain with Ilia Topuria, and I looked into, all right, so what's happening here? He was with his manager, Malki Kawa. I mean, this is how it works. I'm just trying to explain to people how journalism works. So I see that, hey, so is the fight on? Because it seemed like they were all happy. They're posing for a photo. Actually, it's looking like February. Oh, interesting. Let me check on the other side. Is Toronto not happening anymore? No, it's not happening anymore. Going to take a little bit more time. Likely be in February. Couple of locations, including Arizona, mentioned. Let's see how it all plays out. All this stuff is very fluid. All right. So what's going on in January in Toronto then? Because Volkanovski, was the front runner, and if you just look at the list of available champions, there aren't a ton. We did find out on Friday that Mayra Buena Silva and Raquel Pennington, not our friend Juliana Pena, will be fighting for the vacant 135-pound title on that card. Not officially announced for Toronto, but all signs appear to be Toronto at the moment on January 20th. And so people are like, damn, is this going to be the main event? All due respect to them, it just didn't feel main event worthy, right? You look at let's go through the divisions. Flyweight, Pantoja fighting December 16th. Bantamweight, Sean O'Malley, we could talk to him about it, but I know for a fact he's not, at least as of right this second, unless they try to pull a rabbit out of their hat, and I think he was a little bit banged up, not fighting on January 20th. Featherweight, Alex Volkanovski, I just told you, not fighting on January 20th. We'll skip lightweight for now. Welterweight, fighting on December 16th. Middleweight, Sean Strickland, possibility, but if they're waiting for Khamzat, he would not be fighting on January 20th, but let's say possibility. Light heavyweight, we know it's happening this weekend. So could that winner turn around? Sure, but let's see what happens this weekend. So obviously not a thing right now. Heavyweight, we know about that, Aspinall and Pavlovich. Grasso out with the hand injury. Zhang Weili could be, but would that be big enough for Toronto? Don't think so. Grasso I already mentioned, and then we know about the bantamweight title on the card. So there weren't that many. The one that kind of glared at me was lightweight. Is it possible because that fight was short that they would have them fight, the lightweights fight in the main event? Would certainly be a big deal. And, I saw Aaron Bronstetter, who works for TSN, mention that there was a bigger fight in the works on Twitter as well. So I was like, all right, let's see. And then it gets confirmed to me, which as I wrote, and I will repeat it again, just for everyone who's claiming a victory over me. The current plan, though not finalized just yet, is to have Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira 2 headline UFC 297. That event, while not officially announced just yet, is currently slated to be January 20th in Toronto. The original plan for that main event was Volkanovski versus Topuria. But now the plan is for that to be on the February pay-per-view. So every aggregator site out there that said Ariel Helwani announces that it's a done deal, it's not, because I'm reading to you right now. I said the current plan, though not yet finalized. Fine. Raquel Pennington versus Mayra Buena Silva for the vacant title, also scheduled for the January card, as reported yesterday. This got everyone up in a frenzy. First of all, because they were excited that this fight was going to happen. But second of all, it led to some very mean things being said about me from some other people. And so I will say one more time that I stand by my reporting, that I believe what I reported was and is 100% accurate. A main event hasn't been announced for Toronto, and it's very possible that they change course. Something could happen this weekend, and they add that fight to the winner of one of these fights. Who knows? A million things could happen. They could do whatever they want. It's their organization. But I want to remind you all of something that I said on Wednesday's show before all of this, when I was asked about breaking news. I told you about something that I've been dealing with for a long time, but only recently had, the willingness to bring it up. And so for those that may have missed it during the On the Nose segment, this is what I told you about what happens when I break news, as silly as it is, as stupid as it is, as kind of mind-blowing as it is, this is what happens more often than not when I break news. Here's me on Wednesday. I was battling a system who didn't want me to succeed, who was doing everything in their power to get me to not break news, who were threatening fighters and managers that if, in fact, I did find out and break the news, that they would cancel the fight, pull the fight, and, sucks to be you, SOL. And so that's horrendous, guilt to put on someone. So these people would tell me, and they're like, yo, man, you can't break the news because they say they're going to cancel the fight, and this is the biggest payday, and this is the biggest opportunity, and this is a title fight. And that's a shitty position to be in. They would say things like, hey, this guy has to break the news, and if he doesn't break the news and Ariel breaks the news, we're canceling the fight. And if we find out that you told him, you're fucking dead to us, and we'll never, like, that's the stuff that I had to deal with. In particular, at ESPN. So as that increasingly happened, and as I left ESPN, I was like, this is not worth it. I'd much rather have people on the show and have those good relationships and have interviews and stuff like that than break a story which 2 minutes later will be forgotten about as far as who broke the story. So that was last Wednesday. What you saw happen yesterday is pretty much what I was describing. They hate when I break news, especially when it's a dominance guy. Ali gets so upset about this. He'll start calling me names. He'll start going crazy. They'll call up their puppet media members and they'll get it out there saying, this is not true. This is not true. And so that's fine. You can believe them or you can believe me. I'll put my track record, my history of telling the truth, of getting things right, of batting 1,000 over their track record any single day of the week. I'll put it up any freaking day of the week. I'll put my reputation, I'll put everything up against them. I'll put my 13 freaking trophies up against them. No problem. But if you want to believe their bullshit, you can go ahead and believe it. What I reported on Saturday was 1,000% true. It may end up still coming to fruition. We shall see. That's why I said not finalized just yet. But I can assure you of this. Alex Volkanovski ain't fighting in January. The plan as of Saturday night was for those two guys to headline the event. I could even tell you about other fights that are in the works for January, if you so want, just so you know that I have fucking sources in this sport. Jan Blachowicz, Alexander Rakic, look it up. Go scout, go scurry off and try to find information on that. You think I just fucking pull this shit out of my hat? Get the fuck out of here. So believe whoever you want. Don't watch this show. Don't follow my tweets. Don't follow me on social media. I don't give a crap. But for the ones that know for a fact that what I told you was true, and you can listen to those guys who for some reason have this grudge against me, have this vendetta against me, whatever it is. I mean, again, we know where, I've always known where the root of it lies, and now it's just, it's just open season. And that's fine. And that's totally fine. I know who's who and I know what's what. And so I'll stay true to that, and I'll continue to do my due diligence and get things right. And eventually I'll be vindicated. And there are other people, just like with the Francis thing, who will never give me that. And that's totally fine as well. So let's see what happens with January 20th. I can assure you of this, not the first time that I've reported something and they've changed the date. And so they very well may have changed the date. And for that, I am sorry, Toronto. From one Montrealer to my fellow Canadians, I don't actually hate Toronto. I know there's a beef between Montreal and Toronto. But I am sorry if I screwed it up for you. Certainly not my intention. You guys deserve a big main event, and it blows my mind that they would do that sort of thing. But this has been happening, and I literally told you about it happening on Wednesday before all of this happened. Not worth it. I agree with myself on Wednesday. Not worth it. Who needs that shit? Who needs to wake up to this insanity over who gives a fuck? Who really needs to do it? There's no amount of excuses or reasons that you can give me as to this being worth it. It's not worth it. But, you get information, you get it right, you get it confirmed by 3 sources, and you put it out there while you're sitting on the couch watching Joe Cordina fight in a ballroom filled with 300 people. Those are things you do on a Saturday when you're me. It just happens. But we'll see what happens. I appreciate all the kind words from everyone. And, I appreciate Ali still caring so much about me to say all these very, very nice things about me. And I wish, him and Dominance and Rizvan and everyone on the team, I wish them nothing but the best. And hopefully that we can all sing Kumbaya together one day and be back in each other's good graces. All right. So I have I have addressed number 1. We've addressed Chael. We're good. Number 2, we've addressed the pay-per-view numbers. Hopefully, I've educated you on that. No problem. Don't mention it. And number 3, I've addressed Toronto. Let's see how that all plays out. But you notice when they put out their rebuttals, they're not telling you what the main event is. That might be because they don't want to, say that I was right or admit that they are changing course or just for whatever reason want to mess with me. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But if you want the news, if you want the truth, if you want the real, you come to this program as you have been coming for all these years to this program to hear all of that. All right. Now let's talk about this past weekend. Let's talk about Jael Almeida. Let's talk about Nicholas Dalby and whatever else we want to talk about. Let's say hello to the boys. And before I get into this weekend's recap, I do want to let you know, am I getting it right here? I think I'm getting it right.
That's money, man.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, I didn't have that one. Yes, that is money. Yes, I want to give a special shout out as we do our recap for this weekend. Golly, there's a lot of papers here. Here it is. Yes, that's great. Support for this show comes from Cash App. Cash App has the tools you need to make saving easier, whether you're saving for your next vacation, a new car, or maybe you're going to pony up for some good seats for your next event. Reaching your goals, whatever they may be, is faster with Cash App's roundups and offers. That means even when you're not thinking about it, your money in Cash App is building. That's money, that's Cash App. Download Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store to start saving today. So there you have it. Thank you to our good friends over at Cash App. What was the story of the weekend, GC? If you were to say, what's your pick?
Oh, man. Probably between Jael Almeida and Nicholas Dalby. I mean, the Dalby win was just one of the best things I've seen in a while. But I guess the story is Almeida just racking up 22 minutes of control time.
I mean, I thought that he was going to submit him in the first round, to be honest.
Every single round, as soon as he got the takedown and then just transitioned into mount almost immediately, I was like, this is where it's going to end. And it just never ended. I don't know what was going on with that. Like, he didn't really use ground and pound. Like, when he went for submissions, it felt like he was never really close. I mean, dominant performance, like absolutely dominant. Like, he was never really in any real danger at all. But it's not the Jael Almeida that we've been seeing of late. Like, these performances where he's getting first-round finishes in the first couple minutes of the second round, if it goes that long.
So you were underwhelmed? Is that fair to say?
Incredibly underwhelmed, yeah.
Really? Wow.
I mean, the dominance was
50
impressive.
to 44 on 2 scorecards.
Yeah, but the way he did it was just takedown and then lay and pray, essentially.
Yeah, I didn't think it was as bad as people were saying, to be honest.
It wasn't an entertaining fight.
Yes. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah,
entertaining. No. It wasn't entertaining, but it was dominant. Like
Dominant, yeah.
Like is it the fight if I'm trying to get someone on the Almeida train, am I popping that one in? No. But like to do that to a big boy like Derek Lewis, don't get me wrong, it was not entertaining, but it was dominant. Like I don't have much to criticize him about other than what you said, like maybe he didn't go into that extra gear to finish the fight, but it's still Derek Lewis, and you're still keeping, like
he did have he had 5 rounds to try to do it,
right?
And he didn't get it done. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing some people saying some wild things, like he needs to be cut from the promotion and stuff like that. It's just like, dude, he just 50-40.
Cut from the promotion.
Derek Lewis, like he needs to get a top 5 fight.
Yeah,
like,
get out of here. Cut from
to me, you booked the Curtis Blades fight. Someone that will be able to, wrestle against them, and
that's
then
1,000%
where he's at.
Yeah, that was the original fight. That was the fight that they were going to do before Curtis got injured. I know he called out Ciryl Gane. I can't imagine Ciryl Gane loving it, loving that idea.
We don't need to do the guy that, we've seen grappling deficiencies in the past. We need the wrestler to the division. We need Curtis Blades to really see where Jael Almeida is at.
Yeah, I agree with that. Tough fight for, Derek Lewis wins in July. Now all of a sudden he's back, he gets a new contract, and to come back like that is tough for him. But everyone knew that it was, what was he, like a plus 400 or something like that?
Yeah, short notice, heavy underdog.
Everyone knew. I mean, dominant win, and I can understand when you're that close to finishing in the first round, and then every round looks almost exactly like the first round. You're like, come on, man, just finish it. And it felt like afterwards when he said to the crowd, like, were you not entertained? I didn't hear a lot in response to that.
Not
Like,
really, honestly. I wasn't
it's
that
kind of
entertained.
late. Also, what
when
time?
you saw Spivak do it earlier this year, like he
Yeah.
was able to get him out of there in the first round. When Cormier got him to the ground, I know that was a while ago, but like he was able to submit him fairly easily. Like you would have thought that this guy who is like a super high level grappler would have been able to get him out there with how many opportunities had over the course of the 25 minutes.
Yeah. Also worth noting, I think that was midnight Eastern. That's 2 a.m. in Sao Paulo. So it's possible they were just really tired. New York Rick, your story of the weekend? Wow.
Yeah,
What's different about you
Lots
right
to
now?
choose from.
What do you mean?
Something's different.
Background.
The background is different.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that's not about me, but yeah.
No, I mean about this shot.
Yeah, shout out to Gian.
Oh, our guy.
The goat, the man.
Is that a
He
Yuri
posted-
poster?
Yeah, so he was
Yuri Alex.
he was working with the UFC on the Jones Miocic poster, and then had to switch plans, and now came out with a banger with Yuri and Alex,
Okay.
as always. I mean, he's the best. He's the king. He's the goat,
Are
so
you
shout
are
out.
you brighter than usual because of that light?
I don't know. Maybe.
It does feel like it's a little bit whiter, whereas
Yes.
mine is like a little more
Yours,
yellow.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's okay.
No,
We'll
I
take
just- Okay, no, listen. Yes, story of the weekend.
I don't know. I mean, I was very underwhelmed by Jalton. That's really all. That's the only thing I can remember, like coming away thinking about. Like certainly there were some performances. Dalby was great. Elvis Brenner continues to kind of impress. But I just remember, like I was on the MMA fighting post show and gave it an F. Like that was an absolute stinker of a performance. Could not have gone worse for him.
Worse, really? Okay, why?
Well, could have gone worse. He could have gotten started.
Yeah, he could have got knocked out.
Well, not really. Like, sure that there's a puncher's chance in every fight, but the reality of the situation was Derek Lewis was brought in there to get taken down and subbed, and he could not do it. I don't equate 50-44 to dominance. Like, yeah, I feel like this happens in MMA quite a bit, where we only use the term dominance when it comes to a decision, when I would argue that what Islam Makhachev did to Alex Volkanovski, that's actual dominance. That's showing where the levels are, and that's showing what's actually dominant. Getting a 50-44 is certainly a variation of dominance, but it's not as dominant as finishing fights. It was quite frankly a bad performance. Like Derek Lewis was brought in there to be a showcase, and he didn't have a showcase. He did not do what was like. Yeah, you can say like it would be bad if he got knocked out, but that's not what was going to happen in that fight. That's not the reality of the situation. And in fact, if he wanted to avoid getting knocked out, finishing Derek Lewis with some ground and pound in any of those rounds instead of letting him be back on the feet in rounds 3, 4, 5 again and again, would have accomplished that goal. So yeah, not impressed. Not impressed. If this is supposed to be the future of the heavyweight division, I did not see it on Saturday night.
Well, I asked the question. I think I asked it to you guys last week. It might have been on the Ringer Show where we talked about who had the highest ceiling of the three, future prospects, contenders, whatever you want to call them, who are fighting in the span of the next 7 days, dating back to Saturday. What was that?
Tom.
Well, my rankings were Tom, Sergey, Almeida.
Yep.
And so I still feel good about those rankings in terms of
Agreed.
who I think has the highest ceiling. Like now it's on those guys, and obviously they're fighting each other, but now it's on those guys. So like to me, I know everyone was very excited about him. Probably his toughest opponent, a guy who's been there before. Obviously the skill set very much in his favor. Thought he was going to finish him in the first round. I'll be honest. Maybe got tired. I don't know. Went 25 minutes. I think F is strong, but I understand where you're coming from. Nevertheless, my story of the weekend wasn't Almeida because I was expecting him to win. It was Dalby. And shout out to GC who picked Dalby, and we'll get to that with the recap. But Nicholas Dalby, who we've been talking about and covering on this show, the ESPN show, etc., 38 years young, about to turn 39 in 10 days. There was a period where he was in a very, very, very dark place. When he left the UFC, when he was in Cage Warriors, when he was trying to get back into the UFC. I mean, I've had some deep conversations with him just on this show about the place where, he was at, not being able to get out of bed. I mean, he's had some really, really dark things that he's had to overcome. For him to be in a position now where he's won 4 in a row and just beat this rising star from Brazil, in Brazil, who was undefeated, TKO'd him in the second round. Looked like a freaking beast out there at almost 39. That was the feel. That was the like. This makes me feel good about MMA. This is a great story, and couldn't happen to a better guy. The first thing he says on the microphone when he wins is giving a shout out to the Brazilian fans, like just an all around mensch. And to me, that was like the story, the feel good story, the biggest takeaway of the weekend. Because I'll be honest, when GC said that he was picking him, I was like, I don't know about this one.
Wow.
I'll be 1,000% honest. Yeah, I mean,
Dolby Doubter.
not Darl. I mean, both fans been good. You know,
Yeah, undefeated. I mean, finishing, I think, all of his opponents thus far.
yeah, he's been good. He's been good.
And it's Dolby, and he's heading down to Brazil.
Happy to be proven wrong on this one. So I love that. That was my story of the weekend. That and or Logan Paul against Rey Mysterio. I mean, what a match! Did you guys watch that?
Saving him from hurting his neck.
Yo,
I didn't watch it. No, I didn't watch
Not
it.
see it.
I saw the highlight.
did you see the clip though?
Yeah, I saw the clip.
That's actually like the first time I've ever tweeted about Logan where I feel like he's actually gotten praise and love. In fact, I will tell you. So there was this clip which we cannot show because it's a WWE thing, but Rey Mysterio did a moonsault, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was a moonsault where he was supposed to go on the ropes, come back, and I think the spot is that Logan's supposed to catch him right before he hits the mat. Well, either he was short or Logan wasn't in position, and he almost landed directly on his head. Logan ended up catching him by falling on his butt and catching him that way, which takes a ton of strength. I asked a longtime WWE veteran, very, very, very successful wrestler whose name I shall not reveal, what he thought. I sent him the clip and I said, because I see some people giving him praise, but I also see some people saying Logan wasn't in the right spot, and so it's actually his fault. And this is what he wrote back to me. Yeah, I'd buy Logan a steak dinner if I was Ray. Whether Logan was too far back or Ray didn't travel as far as was expected, falls under shit happens in a match, in my opinion. Logan was all in on catching this guy and deserves huge props. He risked getting hurt himself to make sure he got under Ray no matter what. So that's pretty incredible for a guy who's been doing this for a year and a half to have the presence of mind to do that. So that was pretty darn remarkable. And yes, now he is the U.S. champion. I know there was some, there were some doubters as to whether or not he could pull it off. I'm not sure what the odds were on that particular match, but
You think there were?
I was happy to see. I'm not sure. You're the one.
You saw they're bringing a solid gold prime to New York this week? They're like putting in a bulletproof case.
For what?
A promotion. It's worth like $500,000, and it's going to be put in a bulletproof case, and people are going to be able to line up, and you have 20 seconds to guess a code for it, and if no one gets it, they're just going to melt it down.
What?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They dropped a whole promo video about it.
Where did you see this?
KSI or Logan Paul's Instagram.
Wow.
Solid gold prime, yeah.
And where is this happening?
Somewhere in New York.
Oh, we don't even know?
I'm sure they'll release it.
Okay.
New York and London, 2 of them.
Oh, at the same time?
Yeah, I feel like we try and go and punch a code and see if we can win.
Or send Frank over there.
Yeah, I was going to go with Frank.
Wow.
2's better than 1. Get 2 chances at it.
Will he show up?
Yeah,
He showed up on Saturday. He showed up on Saturday.
How was the Brazilian steakhouse?
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic.
Amazing?
Weird way to start the day. Like, being in a Brazilian steakhouse at noon is kind of it's an odd thing. It was pretty empty, and like starting the day off.
Did you eat anything beforehand, or was that your first meal of the day?
I had a banana and an apple. Got a nice workout in, so I was feeling pretty empty.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I mean, you're loading up on meats and cheeses, and obviously the salad bar has different stuff too. It's a heavy way to go about your day.
Yeah, did you feel full for the rest of the
Yeah, I kept it light for
the
dinner
day.
for sure.
Yeah.
Kept it light for dinner.
And who came with you? Frank?
Yeah, me, Frank's wife.
What?
And then
Double date?
No.
So close.
My roommate.
Okay.
And a couple other of our friends. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a great time. It was a great time.
So we're talking like 6, 7 deep?
Yeah. Big
10 to 20 deep, or that's too much?
No, that's far too much.
Okay, fine. 5 deep.
Yeah, about 5 deep. 6-ish.
I mean, it was exactly 5.
Okay.
Some would say maybe 7 or 8.
5 to 8 deep.
Yeah, 5 to 8 is a good estimate of how many people were there.
By the way, that's almost like 100% more. Just want to let you know.
It was somewhere in that range, 5 to 8.
4 to 8. Frank, what do you think?
You know, it wasn't my first rodeo.
I know,
but I
but
was pretty
Yeah,
impressed.
it was not my first time there. We didn't go to a chain. We didn't go to Fogo de Chao. People seemed really proud of that. Churrascaria
in Manhattan or
in Manhattan, yeah. Only one in Manhattan. I think it's
So
the
you know
only
how
one.
you have a little card to
this
tell
is-
them when you're ready for
Yeah,
the
a lot of
meeting?
drama around this.
It was funny watching people forget to flip theirs over,
oh no.
have the guy walk over with the meat in question, and then just be shrugged off and told no and apologize. And just the look on their face was like, I had to turn to Connor. I'm like, do you imagine this guy goes home from work every night and they're like, honey, how was your day at work? He's like, well, so many people had the green card up that did not want the meat.
Yeah.
I actually did it one time. I had the green card up. He walked over. He's just like, "Oh, you want some filet mignon or whatever it was?" I was just like, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm sorry," and immediately flipped it over. And he looked bad.
Very
He was
upset.
not
Yeah.
happy. Was that your moment of the weekend, Frank?
That's right.
That's money, as they say. Yeah.
Our actual money moment of the weekend is Nicholas Dalby. Yes.
Oh, it has to be. I mean, we can go to the. I mean, look at this guy.
Look at this. It's
Getting the
there
finish.
it
I mean,
is.
that is great stuff from old Nicholas Dalby.
Yes. Shout out to our good friends over at Cash App. And we will be joined by Nicholas Dalby in a moment. I've only been to one Brazilian steakhouse in my life, and it was in Rio. And it was very salty, and it was just a lot of meat, you know? It's like I can only eat so much meat.
I think they did that on purpose.
I mean, I can't imagine having that much meat at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it was a lot, man. But I mean, we fought through it. We powered through it, and that set the tone for the rest of the day for a.
You didn't have the meat sweats or fall
The
asleep?
meat sweats?
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Meat sweats. You never heard of meat sweats before?
No, I haven't.
Connor, you've heard
serious?
of meat sweats.
Yes.
Why
of
is
course
it
I am.
when I admit I don't know something, we double down? Are you sure you don't have? Of course I
Because
don't know.
because these
Oh,
things are
geez.
so
I
common.
didn't know if it was a
All
bit.
right,
I didn't know
so
if it was
common
a
that
bit.
I haven't heard of it.
Wow. Is everything okay, Frank?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I'm getting the
my
meat
God.
sweats.
Wow.
Does it feel like it gets on your brow? Is that what it is?
Could we just address? Okay, first of all, meat sweats is when you eat too much meat and you start sweating. That's
I
pretty.
could use the context clues.
I mean, it's just that easy.
yeah,
Excessive perspiration when eating large quantities of any high protein food, not just meat.
So you could
but
get
it
like
does-
a peanut butter sweat.
Yeah,
Sure, but I feel like-
most often it does happen when consuming meat. That's what it says here.
Do people eat like a lot of protein powder and like, damn, I'm sweating?
I don't know.
I'm calling bull on all this.
And so your comment there, by the way, led me to believe that there's something else going on because on Wednesday you just darted out and didn't say
Outed.
goodbye
But
to
I
anyone.
had a meeting with my landlord.
And then Friday,
Oh,
something was going on. We weren't getting any response from him or anything, and he was just like, "Sorry, going through a lot of shit."
yeah.
We said, "Is everything okay?" He said, "Of course."
Yeah, those were related.
Is everything okay?
Everything's all
Is
right.
it
Are you mad at
I-
us?
Should I be?
Well, no, but it just you got so upset and
Starting to get
defensive
the
there.
Frank sweats.
Well, you just got so defensive. Why is
Well-
it every time I say I don't need it, people double down? Like,
No, I love this. Hey guys, I'm unfamiliar with this, and it's always like, what? I remember.
What
Connor
are you
was
referring? What are you referring to right now?
The most recent one, and this one's pretty embarrassing.
tell me.
I
You
was
can tell by
familiar.
how quickly this comes up that he's been thinking about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
yeah.
This
Most
dude
recent
paces
one
around his
happened
apartment.
actually
thinking
12
of
days
things.
ago.
He's in
Opening
his shower
doors.
creating things.
I feel like I'm married to him at this
Yes,
point.
this is great. Continue, Frank. Continue.
The Jennifer Lopez song about the "Don't be confused by the rocks that I got."
Yes,
I'm familiar
Jenny
with
from the
it
Block.
as a
Jenny
pop
from the Block.
cultural reference, but I had never actually heard the song. And when I told Connor that, it was like I just told him I was leaving the show or something. He was like, "Are you kidding me? Were you born after 2005?" I'm like, "Oh man, like I'm never
I mean, why would I,
sharing when
why
I
would
don't
I
know
ask
something."
that when I know you're a decade older than me? I'm playing this song, and he's just like, "I've never heard this before." I'm just like, "Nah, I bet you'll recognize it in a second." The chorus comes in, the "I'm still Jenny from the block," all that. I mean, the best part of the song, and he's just like, "No, I've never." He's like, "I've never heard of it. Is this new? Like, who is this by?" I'm just like, "Are you being serious?" I'm like, "It's Jennifer Lopez. It's I'm still Jenny from the block," and he was dumbfounded. He said he had never heard it.
Wow. I think by the way, shout out to the X symbol over there in the lower third. Is that a new addition?
Formerly known as.
X.com.
Yeah.
X.com.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Frank said he never listened to the radio.
Okay.
Didn't
what?
even know that thing existed.
What, the radio?
Yeah, I mean,
Stop.
You
He's
would think
now
me working in
very,
audio, I'd be familiar with
I
it.
could
but-
believe the "Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got." I cannot believe the radio. What does that even mean?
He's very posh about what music he listens to.
But by the way, Frank, is this not like a not like a vote of confidence in you? The fact that people expect you to know everything.
This is
and when
exactly
That's
what I
one way
was
of
just
looking
about
at
to
it.
say. Thank you so much,
you
Rick.
don't-
I was just going to say the reaction is because you're usually like when we're talking about Texas, you're like, well, let me tell you about the largest convenience store.
by the way, that's the perfect segue because I have a surprise for old Frankie here.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Oh, my
Really
God.
off the rails. I love this.
You had this conversation during, I think it was On the Nose, and he brought up, I want to get this right,
Oh, wow. Okay,
Nacogdoches.
Yes.
Nacogdoches, Texas, the oldest town in Texas. Well, wouldn't you know it,
yes.
two fine folks from Nacogdoches, their names Thomas and Hunter, brother and sister,
Shout out.
run an incredible popcorn shop named Susu's in Nacogdoches. And Frankie, they've sent you like
Wow.
10 different bags of popcorn.
Oh, wow, we have the box right here.
Pull some of these out right now.
This
And
is
I
unbelievable.
have a confession. I have a confession to make.
Tell us.
I dug into one of them, like a spicy one, and I'm telling you,
How
it's the
good?
best popcorn I've ever had.
Okay,
Wow.
wait a minute.
All right,
Who was it
hold on.
addressed to?
Dill. Shout out.
was it
It was
addressed to?
it was addressed to me because this
Okay.
is supposed to be a surprise for you.
Oh,
Oh my
great.
God, s'mores.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that looks
So
amazing.
So
over
Frankie, you can eat some of this throughout the show and then give a review at the end. Southwest jalapeno.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Thomas and Hunter. Shout out to Susu's and shout out to Nacogdoches.
Which one did you open already?
Is there a
was-
website?
Yeah, sususpopcorn.com, I think.
Shout out.
Hold on, let's see. Sususpopcorn.com. Shout
Wow,
out.
I'm already on
That's
it.
But yeah,
crazy.
Frankie's esoteric knowledge of the oldest town in Texas, as you just alluded to, literally led to some very kind Texans sending some
I mean,
popcorn
this is
our way.
incredible. Pop by and see us at 115 East Main Street.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a big popcorn day for Frank. He was already bragging about some other popcorn that he got today that he
Oh, this
said
is
that
gonna,
in confidence.
this is
sharing with us.
this is gonna put that to shame. It's gonna blow your mind.
He's like, yeah, I got some hibiscus popcorn. I'm like, oh, how is it? He's like, well, I'm taking it home. We're not going to try it here. I'm like, enjoy it, man.
See how
Susu's,
quickly things
baby.
turn, Frank? You went from getting all defensive to all of a sudden being showered with popcorn, showered
What do you
with
mean all
praise,
defensive?
super defensive. What do you-
I don't understand.
showered with popcorn from, is it Nacogdoches?
Nacogdoches, Texas, Susu's.
I think you
Popcorn
can
and
go in
Candy
Naca
Cafe.
nowhere. As
Unbelievable. Frank, look at your reach. Look at the impact that you have on
Yeah, it's
people.
Incredible.
Well.
I
Texas
can't
is the
believe
biggest
this.
continental state.
Yes. How many below the equator? What is it? The coordinates? I don't know. I figured you'd give
The
us
latitude and
latitude.
longitude of-
Do you know it?
Do you know Nacogdoches, the
Texas?
exact
don't.
location?
No. All right, fine.
And just to no, I really don't.
No, I believe you. I'm
That
not
one
gonna-
he believes.
I'm not
Everything
gonna-
else we don't
Yeah, I'm
believe
not
that you
gonna-
don't know. This one we believe.
I'm not
What's the
gonna-
other thing that we always get into, Frank? Bald jokes. Frank says that
They don't
no
exist.
No one has ever been made fun of for being bald.
What?
What are you
That's what he
talking
says.
about? Just ask
No,
Dana
what I
White.
said was
That's what I say. I say go in Dana White's Instagram comments, and it's like you put tomato head.
That's like the number
Up
one.
the
That's
next
also the
fight,
intro.
tomato
I
head.
have never been in a social circle where somebody's like, dude, look at that bald head.
Yeah.
guy over
Also,
there."
I've never been in a social circle where 1% of the things I read about online
Yeah.
are said, but they're still said.
Well,
Next, Frank's gonna say he's never heard of your mom joke.
Yeah, I was about to say
Ah.
Frank didn't have a roast group. Back
He's adamant about this too. He's like they don't exist.
How does
I
this
actually
even come
ordered it off of Amazon. It was a book called 101 Best Bald Jokes.
There's
and I
only
sent it to him,
101?
and he's just like, those are the 101 best, and he's just like, no, I still don't believe it.
it's not a thing.
Oh my gosh. Frank, is everything okay?
I think everything's gonna be all right.
He's gonna be good after he has this popcorn. Trust me.
Oh,
It's
yes.
all gonna be good.
Perhaps you
S'mores,
guys
I'm looking forward to
you
it.
guys can have a popcorn party back there because
We'll give some of the guests.
our longtime friend and colleague Andy is back from maternity
Oh, yeah.
leave. Yeah.
A big
Now we're
discussion
finally
there.
back. Yes.
We are cruising right
Oh
now.
my God. The family is back together. Everyone is back. She's doing well. Came back a lot sooner than I expected. In Canada, maternity leave is 1 year, but apparently in this country, it is. Well, I think she's coming and going. Anyway, point is, it's wonderful to have her back. It's wonderful to have the whole team back. And what an occasion. We can celebrate with all kinds of popcorn. S'mores popcorn sounds a little bit.
Oh, that
Crazy.
sounds
Oh no, that's
No, that's good.
amazing.
That's
Sounds
the
a
one.
little bit like we're
When
not
you-
giving you any, Ariel.
That's fine.
Yeah, that bag will be gone by the time you get out of there.
When you mix the savory and sweet, that's
Oh.
the right.
That's
the right-
exactly how I feel about green olives and pineapple pizza.
Yeah,
There you go.
Savory and
that.
sweet.
I'm not gonna roast you for that. I would enjoy.
Have you ever tried it?
I've never tried it because I'm not like a green olives fan. Like
Yeah.
I'm more black olives and I don't love pineapple on pizza, but I would do it. I'm not the staunch like you don't put pineapple. Like shut up. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
No.
But it's not my go-to. Mushrooms, jalapenos, those are the keys for me. Those are the staples.
Mushrooms and jalapenos. Wow. Together?
Usually separate. I'll do a half and half, but I'll eat them together too.
Interesting. What kind of mushrooms? Are we talking about like portobello mushrooms, or are we talking about like those like generic ones, like the whitish ones, the button mushrooms?
Yeah, it's usually not those. It's usually like a
Portobello.
portobello.
Wow, fancy, huh?
Yeah, it's
What about you, GC? What's your go-to?
It's actually funny that you mentioned the pineapple because I do like pineapple on pizza. I don't go green olives though. I go bacon and pineapple.
oh yeah.
Love that. I mean,
Wow.
love that. But that's not my go-to. Typically, just a nice simple like pepperoni.
Interesting.
Yeah, don't get too
Frank?
crazy with it.
Pepperoni mushroom.
Nice.
But since living in New York, honestly, a cheese pizza is kind of, in my opinion, a way to judge how good the pizza is.
Sure. Compliment to the Plaza Hotel.
Absolutely.
You know what that's from?
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
What's it from? What's it
Here
from?
we go.
It's from
Home Alone
that
2?
one pop cultural.
The one pop cultural what?
That one pop cultural meme that we all refer to all the time. Yeah.
You knew where that was from. Stop it. Serious?
I'm so sick of this.
Oh my god.
This is a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point.
Well, it's Home Alone 2. Compliments
Obviously.
of the Plaza Hotel. Do I have to read something about Cash App here on the back end of this,
Go
or
ahead and rip it, man.
did I do it? I don't know if I did or not. There's like a 9,000 reads here.
Yeah, listen, man. We're working into this. We're going on the fly.
Working on the weekends like usual. Thanks to Cash App for their support. Cash App has the tools to make saving easier, and that means you can start building towards your savings goal $1 at a time. But growing those savings is faster with Cash App's roundups and offers, because once you save with Cash App, that money starts growing without you even having to lift a finger. You don't even have to worry about it. Think of it as financial self-care. That's money, that's Cash App. Download Cash app from the App Store or Google Play Store to start saving today. I also do want to tell you about our good friends over at BetterHelp. We love BetterHelp. Support for this show comes from BetterHelp. The holidays can be a difficult time for all of us, between the parties and the wonderful times spent reconnecting with family and friends. The end of the year can also bring loneliness, frustration, and anxiety. Reaching out to a professional can help, and BetterHelp offers convenient, affordable therapy that is entirely online. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/MMA Hour today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MMA Hour. Please support BetterHelp because they support us, and support yourself. And shout out to our friends from Cash App. What a trip, for lack of a better word, to go from Sean O'Malley to Yuri Prochaska. Two completely different characters, individuals, personality. But what a privilege to talk to, whether you consider Yuri champ or not, former champ, whatever it is, he never lost the belt. Obviously, Sean is the champion. Two guys at the top of their game, top of their weight classes, respectively, and two of the most popular fighters in the UFC. I mean, this is one of those special days that we get on the program, and I feel very, very lucky to do a show like this where people like that are a part of the sport that we cover. So interesting, so different, so thoughtful, so unique, and that they're accessible to us. It's a real privilege and an honor to be a part of a show like that. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Let's check in with the guys here.
I had a good time.
Yeah, do you enjoy that?
No, very much so.
Both guys just fascinating in their own rights. Yuri has a special kind of intensity to him. And it's just such a pleasure and privilege to be in his honor. And I'm so fascinated by the way he lives his life, and fascinated by the way Sean lives his life too. Some say it's delusional, the power of the mind, things of that nature. Really, really impressive. What is going on here? Is everything all right back there?
Oh, yeah.
Everything's hunky-dory.
No, when you say hunky-dory, it doesn't mean... Well, because Connor put a phone number in the chat. Is that for me?
Don't worry. No, not for you.
Okay.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
All right. All right. I just want to make sure. Oh yes. You need me. Is that the sign to read the ad read?
You know what? Yeah. That's
Okay.
exactly what that is.
What is going on? By the way, just for the record, when people say hunky dory, that means things aren't going well. Just for the record.
Yeah, Rick.
No, it means they're going swimmingly. You're just reading into it what you will.
I mean, there's a lot. I'm trying to
Swimmingly.
Okay, I get emotional after shows like these because I don't think people realize how hard it is to get these guys to come in studio and then for them to come and open up and give us the time like this. It's, it's just a very special thing that means a lot to me. Which one do I read? I mean, we've got BetterHelp here. I read that one. You actually, Frank, told me to read BetterHelp earlier, and I was like, I already read BetterHelp. So
I deleted that message.
Okay. So I'm going to do Cash App. Yes?
Let's do it.
Okay, I do want to tell you all that support for today's program comes from Cash App. Cash App has the tools to make saving easier, and that means you can start building towards your savings goals $1 at a time. But growing those savings is faster with Cash App's roundups and offers because once you save with Cash App, that money starts growing without you even having to lift a finger. You don't even have to worry about it. Think of it as financial self-care. That's money. That's Cash App. Download Cash App from the App Store, Google Play Store to start saving today. Fascinating stuff. They're from Cash App. We appreciate them very much. And I do also want to let you know about our good friends over at DraftKings. We love DraftKings. And obviously this Saturday here in New York City, it's UFC 295. It's November 11th, one day before the UFC's 30th birthday. How about that? Madison Square Garden. I love Yuri telling his manager in the back, you didn't tell me the basketball game was at Madison Square Garden. I think part of him wanted to go there for the first time on Saturday, or maybe he's excited. Maybe I'm reading that completely incorrectly. He's looking to secure the victory on Saturday, and DraftKings wants you to secure your victory with an unbeatable offer on DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers strike now to get $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet just $5. We've got Yuri Prochaska against Alex Pereira. We've got Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich. We've got Matt Frivola on the card, Mackenzie Dern, Jessica Andrade, Jared Gordon, Mark Madsen. The list goes on and on. So get in on the UFC 295 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Download the app now and use code TheMMAHour. New customers get $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5. That's code TheMMAHour only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crowd is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boudreaux Casino Resorts in Kansas. 21 and older. Age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/MMA terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions. Terms and responsible gaming resources. I was trying to delay there a little bit because I wasn't sure if GC was back.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, hey.
Back. Yeah.
What was the phone number about? You kind of threw me
Yeah, I
off.
didn't mean to send that in there. I knew that you might have a little freak out there.
What is? I don't know.
Yeah, we just had to figure some things out. It's all handled.
Is it okay?
I'll have you know he was very calm. He didn't even ask about it, actually.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
He
Yuri's
was worried,
Yuri's a superstar down
Handled
there.
it like a champ.
I mean, he's getting mobbed left and right.
Serious?
Yeah. But we just had to find the car for him.
Oh, people were waiting out there?
Yeah, but that's not what that was about.
Okay.
I'm just saying. That's why it
Was he annoyed?
No, of course not.
Freaking love Yuri. What a guy.
I mean, the intensity is
Next
whether-
level. When he
whether
does
he's
the
talking
and I'm like, whoa, this is
Well,
amazing to witness.
whether he's talking about fighting Alex Pereira or if he's asking you for a cup of tea, the intensity is the exact
The
same.
exact same?
Like, I mean, it's just on 100 the entire time.
Did you get pics with both?
I had to.
Separate? Because I think I may have screwed up. I asked for
I did a separate action.
for each?
Yeah, I mean, I had to do it. Got the Yuri, get the hand up.
Sick. Both of you?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one.
Good stuff. That's great.
I mean, this in the new era of the program, this has to rank as one of the all-time days, no?
Yes. All-time day.
One of
I
the
mean,
best.
especially with the week that we're going into, 295, Madison Square Garden, more things to come later in the week. Obviously, the live show Wednesday will be big too. Yeah. I mean, we're running on a high right now, huh?
I am running on a high, yeah. Well, it's just weird because everyone said we were toast, and then it's like,
Still the bread. Still the bread, baby. I mean, yeah, Sean O'Malley too.
Sean O'Malley. Oh yeah.
I mean, dude's the same guy off the air than he is on the air. Like, just,
Same dude.
I mean, very chill, very down to earth.
Did you go get coffee with him, or was that someone else?
No. That was Joey. Joey got to.
I thought maybe you get.
Listen, one or two things got busy back here.
Yeah.
I had to deal with some things,
All right.
It is work.
Hence the phone number.
Blowing up balloons.
Hence the phone.
Yeah.
What balloons? Oh.
No.
Oh.
You know?
Gosh, I didn't even notice that, to be honest. All right. Well, let's get into that. Yes, a big weekend for you. So take it away, my friend.
Yeah. So I mean, the Parlay Pals. Obviously, we didn't win. Our boy Nicholas Dalby killed it for us, and then I would have lost anyway because I had Jelton inside the distance. So let's just get right on to the picks. All right, a lot of singles. We do well there. Nicholas Dalby, absolute. I actually had to take the Erickson jersey down and pull because this is a national team jersey. We got the DBU going. I mean, for our man Nicholas Dalby. I mean, close to home, the Dane. Great work there. I mean, absolute dogfight in that one. I have to say, I'm looking great to start the night, 4-0-1. Then someone hits me up and they're like, clean sweep on the singles incoming. And I'm like, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. I'm not getting jinxed here. And then it was loss. I was like starting to get worried. I was just like, oh my God, did this guy jinx me? But then Dalby was the bounce back. And then the parlays, 1-1. I was actually in like just a money range there because if Gabe Bonfim won, I would have hit the big Brazilian favorite parlay. But I mean, we'll do with Dalby. Yeah, if only. So that, Ariel, Rick, Frank, that brings us to the final recap here, and as you guys can see. What's that? Plus 1.
Oh, yeah. We never doubted it.
1.25 on the parlays, plus 1.53 to bring us to a total. I think I got this ready to go here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look. Are you actually smoking it?
Here. Oh. Wow. This is
What's happening?
I remember my first celebration.
trying to pop some confetti here. It's just
Is it working? Okay, keep going. Keep fighting it.
Really embarrassing myself.
No, keep going. Are we lighting that thing up or what? Yeah.
Woo! Well, there's some over here as well.
Wow.
I mean, look at that. We got the balloons ready to go. 100 units, baby. Look at that money falling down.
Here comes the money. Yes. Oh, look at
this. We look great.
Wow,
we look great,
fat
people.
hundies right there.
Woo!
Wow.
Not much else to say after that.
This is
Not much
something
else to
right
say.
here. I mean, it's not even like, where I usually hang out, it's just dollar bills. Stacks of hundreds are flying in the air.
We got another confetti to pop. We might as well pop it, if you got them, smoke them. If you got them right. I should have never got into this. I'm just embarrassing myself.
No, listen.
Again.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Keep fighting. Oh, man.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
You got the 100. Wow. This is more exciting than my daughter's birthday yesterday. More pomp and circumstances.
This is going to take quite a bit to clean up. We're going to have to get the vacuums in here. But
how does it
Roombas
feel?
are on their
I
way.
mean, they were, listen, like me, they were saying you were toast, right?
I was going to say, they thought I was toast.
Yeah.
Go back to July. I mean, we're down 25, 27, 32, however much it was. Down a lot of units on the year. I mean, 14 of the last 16, we've completely turned it around. And, I was starting to doubt it myself. Would this day ever come? Would I hit the 100-unit mark? And here we are.
I mean,
Just in time, too. We still got about 8 weeks in the year. Pad it with a little bit more profit as we head into 2024. It's good times over here. I mean, it's a gravy train.
are you planning on retiring? Top of the mountain, top of the game?
People have said that. People have asked me, is this it? Is he finally going to hang it up? Are we gonna put the jersey up in the rafters of the MMA Hour studio? After long thought, contemplated a lot of things, the run continues. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep pushing forward. It's time to go for 200. I mean, we're just resetting it back to zero. We're now it's time to push it to 200, then 250. I mean, the mountains just continue to go.
Very proud of you. Well done.
I said I was going to be arrogant. I do have one big hitter that I want to get to before we get out of here, though.
You're the big hitter.
Well, I just wanted to...
I felt like you should be the big hitter, if I'm being honest. Da, 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 da.
Hey, you know, I like the way you think there, Helwani. The big hitter of the week is me, baby. Plus 100 units all the time. Look at that guy looking fantastic. Look at that stash. I mean, this is the victory lap right here. It doesn't matter if I lose again, you know. At one point, I was up 100 units.
Nah, we're not losing again.
There it is, baby.
I
Only
love
up.
it.
Only
It's just you, right?
Just me. That's it.
What is that picture over there?
can we
Is that
get
is that
another-
at the back? I can't even see.
Can we get
Yeah.
another confetti streamer here, Alex? Just
Oh, there
one
it
more.
is.
Just another order.
Oh, that's literally from today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Today. Yeah, live and in the action.
Let's see it.
One more. There. it is.
Yeah.
Just got to really milk this for all it's worth.
No, it's great.
I mean, it's.
You're the
Do it
first guy
again.
since Dylan Dennis to wear sunglasses in the studio.
Wow.
You know, for a minute, I thought Sean O'Malley might come in sunglasses. That was. Great.
I love the random shot to Eric, who's just like, "Why am I on screen right now?"
I'm just taking mental notes. It's just being added. It's just being tabulated. There's
How much
a
money?
running list. No.
No. The Rick versus corporate Alex.
Oh my gosh, I love it. A simmering feud.
Burgeoning. Yeah. Simmering. That's the perfect way to put it. So
done.
yeah, that's that. 100
Well done.
units, baby.
100 units. How'd you celebrate on Saturday?
Good. Shotgunned a beer with my roommate.
That's
It was
money.
kind of late at night.
Yeah.
That is money.
Now, what is happening with the actual funds? Are they like?
Hey,
When you around
yeah, what are you
here?
doing with the winnings?
Well, I typically cash it out as much as possible. That's just something I like to do. This month, though, was that a nice segue? Or are you actually asking what I'm doing?
I'm actually asking. Truly.
Oh well, I've bought and paid for vacations. I actually paid for these shoes, these Jordan 1s.
Show it
with
off.
some. Let's
They
see
are
if we
not
can go
on
to
a
Rick's
crate.
fan.
Go
Not
to my
quite.
cam. Slide in here.
Rick's
Slide
cam?
in here.
I
There
barely.
it is. There it is.
Right next to his
yeah.
face.
Some purple Court 1 Jordans. I mean, that's about as good as it gets there.
Yeah.
Paid for those gambling.
I like that.
Very nice.
Matching socks. Shout out.
So yeah, I mean, we do what we want. You do what you want when you're popping with it. But that actually is a good segue.
Okay, tell us.
I mean, you know what I'm doing this month. All the winnings from this month, we're already up 1.58. We're going to keep growing. It all goes to Mo.
Ah.
Shout out. Shout
Super excited.
out.
I love it.
That's that.
And did the Parlay Boys win?
No. I touched on that.
we covered that.
Yeah.
Let's
we
move
did.
on.
We're
Yeah.
trying to. Still in the green there, though. Still in the green.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy or gal who got you to 100?
It was Jailton. It was
I
always
feel like
gonna
there needs to be
Jailton.
some immortalization of him back there. For
Yeah. So we did
I
immortalize.
should have said this to him.
We did immortalize Nicholas Dalby.
I should have told Almeida, you're the reason why he got to 100.
He's also the reason he didn't get to more.
I texted you guys in the lead up to the fight. I was like, it was always meant to be Jailton. Like
Yeah.
this is it. This is what it was always supposed to be.
All right. Well, congratulations. As I said while I was trying to kill some time there, 3 title fights. By the way, do you guys, when Dana White does these announcements for title fights?
Yeah.
Does he usually announce them without dates or locations attached? Or is it usually like this is happening here and there? And
Most of the time, there's more detail. Most of the time, there's more detail. Are you?
No. I mean,
like you're
did
insinuating
some of my conversations during the break back up what I was saying? I'm just saying seems kind of thrown together. No, what I'm referring to, by the way, for the record, is them wanting to get it out before Sean came in studio, so we can talk about it
Yes.
openly. Cheeto calls in. That's what I'm referring to.
I mean, that was good stuff from Dana.
Yeah.
Little help.
No, I appreciate everyone involved.
He scratches
Dana.
your back, you scratch his. It's good stuff. Good camaraderie there from you too.
I thought so, but it just felt like no dates attached, and based on previous conversations. But yeah, no, I think Toronto should be happy. Do you guys like that main event for Toronto?
Yeah.
Strickland
That's
versus
the one I want
DDP?
to see. I'd
Listen.
rather see that than Hamzat at this point.
Oh,
Well, listen,
not there, but I like it.
just like
I just
this
feel DDP earned it.
1,000%. DDP should have always been the next guy. I've said it, even though this is the difference. They will continue to say there's a grudge, there's a bias. DDP doesn't like me. He should get the title shot. Bilal Muhammad sure as hell don't like me. He should be getting the title shot over Colby. You got to keep it real when you do this job. DDP should have been next. He should have always been next after fighting Robert Whittaker. Now, they did go to him. In all fairness, they did go to him. Thought it was unfair to go 2 months later, but they had a slot to fill. Okay, in walks Sean Strickland. As a result, he should have been next. And I don't know, if I'm being honest, if he was the first choice to be next for Sean. but I think Khamzat's injury changed all those plans. So now you're getting Sean versus DDP, and
But this is the reality of these main events at this point.
100%.
It's next
the
man
slot.
up. There's
the slot.
Yep. They're going all over, and they're getting huge site fees for putting on these events. You need to be available, and that's the opportunity. Take it or leave it.
It's a byproduct of their success.
Yeah.
In that, like, Matchroom is trying to go to, or Top Rank, they're trying to go to the best place for that main event. Where, like, Shakur Stevenson isn't fighting in Florida, he's fighting in Newark.
Yeah,
it's not like we have Newark. The UFC is so hot right now. We're going to Toronto. We could go with a proud American versus a proud South African, right?
To the point where Sean Strickland is on Twitter saying, or X saying,
actively
like, do I need to go to Canada? Like,
there's a very good chance, by the way, that Sean Strickland found out like within the last few hours.
Yeah,
might have even found out on Twitter.
I was going to say, he probably
Sean Strickland is blaming GSP for this.
What is he saying? I have not seen any of this.
I mean, he's saying it jokingly, but he's just like, GSP, did you do this bullshit? Did you force me to go to Canada?
Yeah. No, actually, Sean, I'm sorry. I might be the reason why you're going to Canada. I'm really sorry to say. But I hope the fans in Toronto, look, another victory for the Montrealers, I guess, over the Torontonians. I apologize, Sean, if he's truly not happy. Is he truly not happy, or is he just joking?
He'll be fine. He's just joking. He's just doing the Sean Strickland thing. But yeah, it's a great fight.
Strickland, DDP, they got that one right. Topuria, Volkanovski got it right. And I'm happy that Volk isn't fighting in January. I'm happy that he's fighting in February as opposed to January if he really had to come back. And Cheeto Sean, they got them all right. Best one of the bunch?
Volk Topuria for me. Cannot wait for it.
Eric?
Plus, you got to go watch Topuria's. He already watched it. He already dropped the trailer for it.
Oh, good shit. With the roses?
Yeah, the roses.
The 15th rose.
Oh, my.
I would say Volk Topuria is probably the best fight from a technical standpoint, but man, I'm looking forward to Cheeto and Sean.
Cheeto Sean is going to be so great.
That's the one I care about the most. I'm most invested in that story.
Cheeto in action, just calling up in the middle of the interview.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have.
They were chilling and watching.
I would have wanted a little more from Action if I'm being.
Yo, Action was all the way in the back. I don't know what Action was doing, but he wanted.
I wanted him.
Could you
see
see
him?
him?
He said I'm chilling.
No, we couldn't see him.
I could see him in the back.
He was all the way in the back. I've been in that room. He was behind the kitchen thing where he usually watches PFL prelims. Like that's I don't think he.
I want him to come in over the top. Cheetos
I don't think
sounding off.
I like they had it on a
Action
big
comes
screen, just sitting there
Yeah.
watching. I was like, wow, this is great.
It's amazing.
So Cheeto, that's in March. The other one, man, all three of those are great. All three of those are great.
They did well.
And now we can get to the question that everyone's been wondering: UFC 300. What's going to main event?
Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
Obvious.
Gotta be.
yeah. Especially now, right?
I think he just posted something today, and he was like,
Yeah, I mean,
"I'm
who's-
back for my 20th knockout."
Who else is left at this point?
Can I tell you the best part about doing this show? Like I still till this day get such anxiety before the show, and on Sunday I get anxiety. But the 4.5 hours where like all this stuff that you guys are talking about, I have no idea about, that I haven't looked at my phone, that is really the gift of all gifts that can come to my life. So I love the fact that I don't know any of this stuff.
You could willingly opt into this at any point.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Did Yuri convince you at all?
1,000%. So did Alistair 2 weeks
Alistair,
ago.
I'm about to say Alistair is going to get
Trust me, I think about Alistair all the time. And this app. I keep refreshing my app store. Waiting for the Alistair.
It's time.
There's just such
That's money.
an insane amount of toxicity. In fact, much to my or against my better judgment, I should say, 4.5 hours in, something popped up here, and I have to weigh in on this because so many people are weighing in on it, and we'll tie this whole thing up, and then we'll go home after this. I see a story in Sports Illustrated, or I guess it's sportsillustrated.com. I don't know who wrote it, where they're recapping something that my good friend Jamal Hill had to say about me, and I want to read what Jamal Hill said about me on his YouTube channel, and I know that he likes to make videos about me because anytime he puts me in the thumbnail or in the title, the views go up, and that's fine. That's part of the game. But this is what Jamal had to say about me, and I just want to respond to what he said, because just like he was mistaken back in the summertime, he is mistaken once again, and he's getting information completely wrong about me, and it's fine. We've been here before. We've done this before. But this one is interesting to me for this reason, and I'll explain after I read the quote. Chael's one of the best fighters in the history of this game, and you're calling him a bitch, a coward. First of all, the bitch was about what he pulled, but yes, I did say that, and a coward, talking about this and that and those things. Say it to your face and all this and all those things. But whenever you had a problem with me, you was crying to my manager. Never cry to your manager, Brian Butler. In fact, he asked me to keep him out of it. And I said, I'm happy to not engage in this anymore because, quite frankly, I don't see this going into a good place when, Jamal is saying that he's going to, see me and I'm not like Rampage and all these things. This is not something that I'm interested in. He's going through a tough time. He's got a YouTube channel. Let him do his thing and I'll be good over here. Quote, he's threatening me, he's doing this and that. Yes, you were doing that quite specifically. And you can say that you weren't, but it's on camera. Anyway, now that was a real bitch move. Yeah, it was a bitch move on my part. You're 100% right. Now let's be clear, he says. You're only being tough like this, talking all these things because you had a screen in between y'all. If Chael's in your face, in person, you not talking like that. Let's be real. So let me just explain something real quick to Jamal and to everyone who has weighed in on this. Chael's my friend. Even though he said things about me, he's still my friend. He's still my friend. I texted him that in the middle of the show, and I said it to him on Thursday. He considers me his friend. Friends are able to talk to each other in a different kind of way. Bygones be bygones. You don't understand that because he's not your friend and I'm not your friend. So you're weighing in, just like Erie was saying, about something you don't know shit about. So you can talk about me. I would say the exact same thing that I said to Chael, and that's why I invited him in studio today and Wednesday. I would say the exact same thing. I'm not afraid of my friend. Okay? Have you ever heard me talk about a fighter like that? Have you ever heard me say that to a fighter? No, I don't do that. I respond to people who lie about me. I respond to people who take shots. I respond to people who are disrespectful, like you, to me, who make up shit about me. It's tiresome, but again, I understand what you're doing. You're trying to build up your YouTube channel. I understand you don't have a lot going on right now because you're going to be on the sidelines for a very long time, so you have to do this sort of thing. So you can sit there and you can do your big title about Ariel Helwani this and Ariel Helwani that, and you can do whatever you want, and I will not stop you. I won't try to take the footage down. I could not care less. But you're speaking, once again, in a very sort of off-base way about something you know nothing about. That's my friend. And so friends and brothers will talk to each other in a different way. You coming in and talking about a relationship that goes back 10 years, long before you were ever part of this sport, makes you sound like, some Johnny-come-lately, some educated guy. So uneducated guy, I should say. And so just to remind you, that's my friend. Pull up the time that I spoke of a fighter in that way, and I said, come here. No, it's never happened, and it will never happen, okay? It will never, ever happen because I will, even if everyone's trying to come after us over here, even if everyone's trying to talk shit, even if everyone's trying to make up shit, I will always have respect, including respect for you, for the people who walk in there. I've said it time and again on this show. I possess something in my body that is unlike you guys. You guys possess something in your body that's I don't have the courage that you possess. I don't have that DNA. I can't do that. I never want to fight anyone. I don't want to fight anyone. There are people reaching out to Chael trying to set up fights for me. I don't want to be a fighter. I have no interest in being a fighter. But you all get this whole fucking crazy world of fighting. I sit here and I talk about fighting and I interview fighters and I do things like what I did today. Today was a magical day. And I will always have respect for people who walk in that cage or walk through those ropes and compete. But to continue to sit there on that chair, make up shit, lie about shit, make up stories, twist things, paint me in a negative light. I don't know what I ever did to you. I don't know how, you got it in your mind that I was trying to disrespect you. Our conversations off air have always suggested that you enjoyed the conversations, that you enjoyed the interactions, that you enjoyed this and that. But now you have made it this thing to try to take shots and expose the truth and bring me down. Well, in this particular case, just like back in August, you swung and you missed because that was my friend. We talked it out and we cleared it up. And friends can talk to each other like that, and then they can kiss and hug and make up. I don't know what it's like with you and your friends, but sometimes it happens. It was ugly. I don't wish it happened. I would rather it didn't happen like that. But that's my relationship with Chael, dating back to Ariel and Bad Guy, dating back to before that. We have that kind of relationship. So I want everyone who made their little videos, who made their little breakdowns, and all that stuff, and we're praying like they pray with everything involving me, that this was the end of Chael and I, that he's going to turn on me, that he's going to do this and that. I'm sorry. Our relationship isn't going anywhere. This show ain't going anywhere. And worst of all, despite everything they tried to do, despite everything they tried to say, despite all the fucking bullshit and all the fucking roadblocks and all the fucking nonsense and all the shit that gets thrown at us, we ain't going nowhere. This fucking guy sitting here is not going anywhere. So please get it through your fucking heads once and for all. I am not going anywhere unless I decide to go anywhere, and I ain't planning on going anywhere anytime soon. I hope you recognize that now. It didn't work a few years ago. It didn't work when I left ESPN. Only getting bigger, only getting stronger, only getting more relevant. I hope you understand that once and for all. And we could all live in a kumbaya state. We could all live, and I would say today we did a lot more good than bad. They can recognize it or not. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop talking about this sport, reporting on this sport, interviewing people involved in this sport, doing fucking 12 hours a week about this sport. And if you don't like it, watch something else. Watch some other guy sitting in his house talking about this show. Do whatever the fuck you want. But we'll be right back here doing this show twice a week, and this week 3 times a week, and in the future, maybe even more. Stay tuned for that. So I'll be right back here on Wednesday to do it all over again. And the great Steve-O will be joining us on Wednesday in studio of Jackass fame. I know some of the boys in the back are excited about this, some less so, but overall, I think it's going to be a great time.
Who's not excited? Well, first of all, bravo, well done. You got me fired up there.
Yeah,
I'm ready to take.
I'm tired of all the bullshit. I'm tired of all the new kids on the block thinking that they know what's up, thinking that that they can expose the truth. Motherfuckers, I've been doing a show about MMA since 2001, since Syracuse University. Again, I say the line a lot, but literally since you guys were in elementary school, and some of you weren't even born. Quite literally in your father's nutsack. I've been doing a show on MMA since 2001, Syracuse University, Shine Auditorium. If you don't think I love this sport and have devoted everything to it with all my heart and soul, if that's not clear to you at this point, and if it's also not clear to you that I'm not going anywhere, that I'm not stopping now, I don't know what else I could do to prove that point. But I'm not stopping. The main event, go find it, WERW 2001, Bruce Buffer, Dan Severn, Dave Meltzer, legends were on the show. And then it evolved and evolved and evolved until we got to this point. I am not going anywhere. You're praying for the downfall. It ain't happening. I just want you to know it is not happening. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not stopping to do this show. And I know that there's other things and other forces at work here, but I hope you all get it through your thick fucking skulls. This guy with the big nose, this Jew, he ain't going anywhere. So please come to those terms and accept them and move on. As Yuri would say. What would he say? Like he does this a lot. He does this. He does something like this, and it just feels right in this moment to do it. So
I see a lot of similarities.
Okay, thank you.
And Yuri.
Appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that extra tangent there when you popped up.
No, it's good. Listen, as I said, I'm fired up. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Who's next? What are we doing next? Let's do it. I'm in. Count me in.
What do you mean? You want me to go on another rant on someone?
Yeah. Who's next? Let's just keep going.
This is dangerous. This is a dangerous game.
Okay, actually, let's not.
You're gonna open up a lot.
I'm gonna pivot. And
something about okay. Go ahead.
Let me pivot. Let me pivot to something a super positive thing. We're gonna bring some positivity.
Let's end on a positive note.
Tomorrow is the last day. I mentioned this last Monday. We're doing a cool thing with friend Robert Pearson for the Doe Fund. The auction ends tomorrow. And so I actually have the artwork here. Oh,
look at that.
Look at that.
Our friend Robert did it. I'm going to get you to sign it later. The winner of the auction is going to get that signed and be able to talk to you from the studio. So we're going to do a call with them. So if you want to win that art signed by Ariel and talk to him, CharityBuzz.com/MMM2. And bidding ends tomorrow. So let's do a good thing for the Doe Fund, who helps homeless New Yorkers get back on their feet and
I love it.
To get them housing. So yeah, positivity.
Positivity.
That's what it's all about.
Everyone, be positive, be appreciative. Actually, Robert Pearson is the fine gentleman who did this belt for us. He used to do the DC and Helwani pictures. He did the MMA Hour pictures when we came back. For the first few months there. So longtime friend of the show. A couple people actually reached out to me and said that they bid on this particular auction. So
me as well. So yeah.
You bid on it?
No.
Oh,
somebody else reached out to me that they bid on it.
Right.
I did not bid on it because I can just talk to you right here.
Sure. No.
All
All right. Well, good luck. When does it close, you said?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the last
What
day, so
time?
get your bids in. That I don't know offhand, but get your bids
do it tonight.
today.
Do it
Do it tonight. Don't
Yeah, we'll
waste
call
time.
you. It'll be a great. And that's a 1-of-1, I believe, right?
That's a 1-of-1. This is the one right here.
Signed by the whole team?
No, just you. Come on. Nobody wants
Why?
our
The
devalued.
Parlay boys?
No. Also, this is Helwani. This is not, MMA hour. This is all you here. But yeah, come and get it. Bid today.
All right. On that note, let us say goodbye. Oh, I'm very thirsty and hungry. I keep looking at the clock over there and it says 6:36 because I know we have to change it. And I'm like, what? It's not 6:36.
I got worried for a second. Yuri's team was like, we got to be back by 6. And they seemed very worried about it. I was like, we'll have you out of here by 5. I was worried maybe they hadn't done the daylight savings thing.
Oh.
It was all good, though. No, it's all good, though.
Okay.
Yeah, they were on the right time.
All right.
I 100%.
What happened? Did their car not show up or what?
We just had to locate it, and
It was there,
got
though.
'em. Yeah, we sent them on their way.
Okay.
All good to go. Seen some rumors about people saying Sean O'Malley doxed Frank on his Snap story. I just want to put those to rest. That is not Frank.
Oh. See, another thing that I missed.
Ludicrous.
I missed-
Absolutely ludicrous.
Okay. All right. O'Malley on the Snap? I need to get
Big
on
on
the
Snap.
Snap thing. Sounds like a fun time. Or you think I'm too old for it?
Yeah, it might be too
I think
old.
that ship's already sailed.
How did this happen? Where things like people write to me and they're like, "You're 41, bro." I'm like, "Yeah, but I feel like I'm 25." When did I become the old guy? I mean, my son
You
is.
just went on a whole rant about how you've been doing this since they were
Yeah,
in
that's true.
elementary
That's
school.
true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
And now you're like, how did I get old?
Fucking UFC, what was it? 38, the first one that I did the show about. Yeah,
We're old, bro. We're washed.
we're washed. We are washed. But they can't eat this. By the way, my mic keeps going in and out, Frank. I don't know if you know this.
You
Anyway,
keep going off center.
Anyway, we'll deal with that later. Nicholas Dalby, Jalton Almeida, Jorge Masvidal, Sean O'Malley, Yuri Prochaska. Thank you to all of them. Thanks to them. Thanks to you. Back on Wednesday, same time. And please.